friends anymore, but we had some pretty awkward anyways. So at my college there was this girl that was studying abroad
Friends
from
anymore, but
China,
we had some
and
pretty awkward.
what the heck? Anyways, so at my college there was this girl that was studying
There it
abroad
is. Friends
from
anymore.
ugh. Hey guys, you want to reboot? Today I wanted to talk about well, there was this girl from China that studied abroad at my university, and we ended up having some pretty awkward encounters, but generally this is the story of how I met my girlfriend. So, uh, it all started when I was at school. There was this, she was kind of cute, I guess you could say. Her only real flaw was she had kind of a mustache. But other than that, she was like, very slender, very cute Chinese girl. Um, and we just started talking, and we noticed that like her type, that what she was interested in, she loved gay men. That's all she wants. She's like, she only wanted to date gay men. And I'm like, my friends and I, we were always like, yo, that's not possible. They're gay. And she's like, oh, it's okay. I don't mind. Um, he can date another guy, and then I can have two boyfriends. And or like that's not how it works. Um, anyways, so that's kind of how I first met this girl here. And time just kind of passed. We would just hang out, eat lunch, talk. And then one day, we were talking, and she bumped into my arm, the side of my arm, and I wear short sleeves usually, being a Floridian and whatnot. Um, and she like stops and freaks out, and I didn't know what was going on. So then she puts her hand on my arm, and she starts like rubbing up and down like really slowly, and then she's like, "My God, you have such a nice texture." And I was like, "I'm sorry, what?" It's like, "Yeah, you feel like a tiger." And I really didn't know how to reply to that. And my friend John was standing next to me during this whole thing, just kind of like chuckling in the background. And throughout the next couple of minutes, like I was trying to talk to John, and this whole entire time, this Chinese girl, she was just rubbing up and down my arm, going "Whoa," like that. And I couldn't keep a straight face, neither could he, because she was just there. And yeah, so eventually she stopped, and then she started trying to climb on top of me, while I was trying to talk to my friends. And then she started singing, which she has one of the most beautiful voices, like Broadway quality. Like it's freaking ridiculous. Um, she started singing to me, and then eventually she went back to rub my arm one more, and she's like, "I just need to touch it one more time before I go." So she leaves, and then that's that. So eventually comes Christmas time, and she didn't have anyone, and the main reason she didn't have anybody is because she kept on going after, well, gay men. So, uh, long story short, she started messaging me asking if I wanted to do anything with her for Christmas. Mainly, Christmas is actually a very like a romantic holiday in Japan. It has a very different meaning than back in Western countries. And so, um, I didn't want to go. I really, honestly, really didn't want to go. But she kind of just come guilt tripping me, saying how she didn't want to be alone, these kind of things. And so eventually well, said yeah. So we ended up taking a train and going to a nearby place. And this is kind of like a miniature version of Osaka. It's a nearby city. It's called Sanjo. It's one of my favorite places. Um, so we were there, and as we were walking, we went shopping. She's like, "Can you buy me this for a Christmas gift?" And I'm like, "Sorry, what? I don't even want to be here. We're talking about getting you something." Psh. Um, I ended up getting her something, but it was like 50 cents. I'm like, "Here's your Christmas gift." Um, so long story short, I keep saying that a lot, don't I? Anyways, we kept on walking, and she starts asking me all these questions. So she's like, "So, how's your sex life? And I stopped and looked at her. I'm like, non-existent. And she's like, oh. And I'm like, yeah. So we kept on walking, and I don't know why, but eventually we were just going through like the mall area. We ended up going to Kuzuha Mall after Sanjo, and we were walking through, and she looks at me and she's like, Miguel, please, please lose weight. Please, you have such a perfect face. You just need to go out in the sun and burn some fat. And I just kind of looked at her. I'm like, what kind of Christmas is this? Like, I didn't know what to really think. I'm like, I told her, I'm like, I am losing weight. I lost like 20 pounds while I was in Japan. I'm slowly getting it back in America. You can kind of see, getting some goop here and there. But going back in January, gonna lose it back again. Anyways, it's off topic. So this is just an overall a really weird day that I have. And uh yeah, it was an extremely weird day, and we eventually run into one of her friends, which was this Japanese girl, and she introduced me to her, and the three of us ended up hanging out for a little bit, and we exchanged phone numbers with this girl, and yeah, I ended up talking to this girl here, and we ended up going out. So it turns out the Chinese girl that was studying abroad ended up actually liking me, but I didn't really think up much of it because she is only attracted to gay men. Anyways, yeah. So when she found out that I was dating her best friend, she got extremely pissed and ended up arguing me with me, and then never really talked much again after that. Um, she shaved her mustache at least. And now I mean, she's a pretty girl, but I ended up going out with a friend, and literally I thought she was only into gay men, so I don't know. She kind of did that to herself. But yeah, that's that story. And well, yeah, let me know what you think about it. It was definitely, I don't know. I can't tell if I would. There was like maybe 4 or 5 different encounters with different girls in Japan that were just freaking weird. Uh, I think this one and the Gaijin Hunter one were like my two most awkward ones, if that makes sense. I did meet another girl very similar to the Gaijin Hunter girl, who also told me that she wanted to have a kid with foreigners, and she didn't ask me directly, so um, and this is my second time encountering it when that happened, so I was like, no, sorry, no kid. But yeah, that's that story. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, just feel free to let me know. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, feel free to subscribe. I'm gonna start making more videos. All right, bye.